Hi everyone, in this question we want to graph the polynomial x cubed minus x squared minus 8x plus 12. We'll do this by finding the x and y-intercepts. The first issue we have is that the polynomial needs to be factorized, and we're not given any factors of the polynomial. So the first thing we need to do is guess some factors, and we can do that by considering the constant term. So the constant term is 12, and what are the factors of 12? We have plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2, plus or minus 3, plus or minus 4, plus or minus 6, plus or minus 12. So so we can just start by checking P1. And if P1 equals 0, that would tell us that x minus 1 is a factor. So we'll try P1 first. So we have P1, and we substitute 1 to the polynomial. So that's 1 cubed minus 1 squared minus 8 times 1 plus 12. So that would give us 1 minus 1 minus 8 plus 12. So 1 minus 1 is 0. 12 minus 8 is 4. So x minus 1 is not a factor of our polynomial. So we can exclude that number. How about we try P2? So we have 2 cubed minus 2 squared minus 8 times 2 plus 12. So that would give us 8 minus 4 minus 16 plus 12. 8 minus 4 is 4. 4 plus 12 is 16. So 16 minus 16 does indeed equal 0. So because P2 equals 0, that tells us that x minus 2 is a factor from your factor theorem. So now we know x minus 2 is a factor. We can divide that into our polynomial. And by doing that, we'll get a quadratic factor. So we have x cubed minus x squared minus 8x plus 12. So the first term of the quotient will be x squared. So x squared times x is x cubed. X squared times negative 2, negative 2x squared. And when we subtract, the x cubed will cancel. Negative x squared plus 2x squared will be x squared. So bring down the negative 8x. So the next number must be x. So x times x is x squared. X times negative 2, negative 2x. And subtract, cancel the x squareds. So negative 8x plus 2x is negative 6x. And then we bring down the 12. So the last term must be negative 6. So negative 6 times x, negative 6x. Negative 6 times negative 2 is plus 12. And subtract, these will cancel. 12 minus 12 is also 0. So a polynomial, px, can be written as x minus 2 times x squared plus x minus 6. And we can further factorize that quadratic factor. So x minus 2, and this will be x plus 3 times x minus 2. So this is your polynomial written as 3 linear factors. So now we can start graphing the polynomial. We note from the original question that the constant term is 12. So this is actually your y-intercept. So your y-intercept is going to be the point 0, 12. So when x equals 0, y will be 12. So that's your y-intercept. Your x-intercept can be gotten by letting px equals 0. So we'll have 0 equals x minus 2 times x plus 3 times x minus 2. Therefore, x will be equal to 2 from these two linear factors, and x equals negative 3 from this factor here. So your x-intercepts will be 2, 0, and negative 3, 0. The next thing to consider is the end behavior of the graph. So we know from our polynomial that it is a cubic polynomial and is positive x cubed. So if we graphed y equals x cubed, we get something like this. So any positive x cubed polynomial is going to go down to negative infinity as x gets very small, and up to positive infinity as x gets very large. So this information helps us draw the graph. So let's draw the axes, where this is the x-axis, and this is y equals px. That's our polynomial. So the y-intercept is 12. We'll put that up here somewhere. And the x-intercept is 2 and negative 3. So we have 2 here and negative 3 here. So we know that the graph starts up in this direction, up here. So we'll come down to our first x-intercept. We need to turn here because we need to go up to our y-intercept. We go up through the y-intercept, we turn somewhere and come down for the other x-intercept. Let's label those as 2 and negative 3. Last thing to note is that we have repeated factors here, which could be written as x minus 2 to the power 2. The important point to make here is if this power is an even number, then your graph will come down to the x-axis and turn. It will not cut the x-axis if this power is even. If it's an odd power, in the case of y equals x cubed, we have an odd power, then the graph will cut through the x-axis. So that's our final graph. Thanks for watching.